Chapter 18, Strong People. The highest evaluation of your personality comes from those around you. Anastasia talked a lot about the people we call entrepreneurs, about their influence on public spirituality, and then took a twig and drew a circle on the ground. Inside it, she drew many little circles with a dot in the middle of each one. Off to the side, there were more circles. It was like a map of the planets within the earthly world, and she kept adding many details and said, quote, "The large circle is the Earth, a planet inhabited by people. The little circles are small groups of people, linked together into groups. The dots are the people in charge of those groups. The way these heads relate to the people in their group, what they make them do, what kind of psychological climate they create through their influence, will determine whether the people around them feel good or bad. If the majority feel good, a bright ray emanates from each of them and from the group as a whole. If bad, the ray is dark." Anastasia shaded in some of the circles, making them dark. Quote, "Naturally, their inner state is influenced by many other factors as well. But in the space of time during which they are in this group, the principal thing is their interrelationship with the person in charge. For the universe, it is very important that a bright radiance should emerge or emanate from the earth, the radiance of the light of love and good. This is mentioned in the Bible in the phrase as well, which is God is love. Quote, "I feel very sorry for the people you call entrepreneurs. They are the most miserable of all. I would so much like to help them, but it is difficult for me to do that all by myself." Quote, "You are mistaken, Anastasia. The most miserable people in our society are the people on pensions, people who can't find work, can't afford a roof over their heads, or even food or clothing. An entrepreneur is someone who has all these things in greater abundance than other people. He has access to pleasures which others can't even dream about." Quote, "What specifically, for example?" Quote, "Well, if you take the average entrepreneur, he will have a modern car and apartment. He will have no problems whatsoever with food and clothing." Quote, "And what about joy? What does he find satisfaction in? Come and see for yourself." Once again, Anastasia led me to the grass, and like the first time when she showed me the women dashnik, she began to show me other scenes. Quote, "You see, there he is sitting in a car, in fact, you would call pretty snazzy. You see, he is sitting alone in the back seat, and the car is air conditioned. It has its own microclimate, so to speak. His chauffeur is driving it very smoothly. But look and see how worried and pensive the entrepreneur sitting in the back seat is. He is thinking, working out plans. He is afraid of something. See, he has just picked up what you call a telephone. He is upset. Yes, he has just received some news. Now he must quickly evaluate the situation and make a decision. He is all tensed up, thinking, now he is ready, the decision has been made. Now look. He appears to be sitting peacefully, but his face betrays doubt and concern, and there is no joy." Quote, "That's work, Anastasia." Quote, "No, that is a way of life, and there is no respite in it from the moment he wakes up in the morning until the moment he goes to bed at night, or even in his sleep. And he sees neither the leaves unfolding on the trees nor the streams running in the spring. All around him are perennially envious rivals desiring to take over his possessions. His attempts to fence himself off from these by what you call bodyguards and a house, which is actually more of a citadel actually, do not bring any complete sense of peace, since fear and worry have crept in and will forever remain with him." Quote, "This goes on until his dying day, and just before the end of his life, he feels a sense of regret that he is obliged to leave it all behind. Quote, an entrepreneur has his joys, I observed. They come when he obtains a desired result or fulfills a plan he's thought up. Quote, not true, Vladimir. He never gets to enjoy his acquisitions, since along comes another plan immediately to take its place, a more complicated plan, and the whole process begins again from scratch, only with greater challenges. This forest princess painted me a rather sad and gloomy picture of our outwardly well-off social class, and this was not a picture I felt like accepting. I attempted a counter-argument. Quote, you forget, Anastasia, their ability to reach a set goal and obtain the good things in life, excited glances from women, respect by people around them. To which she replied, quote, sheer illusion. There is nothing of the sort. Where have you ever seen a respectful or an excited glance directed at a passenger in a snazzy car or at the owner of the fanciest house in town? Not a single person will confirm what you have just said. These are but glances of envy, indifference, and irritation. And even women cannot love these people because their feeling is mixed in with their desire to possess not only the man, but his property too. The men, in turn, cannot really love a woman, for there is no way they can free up enough room for such an important feeling. It was useless to look for further arguments, since what she said could be confirmed or refuted only by the people she was talking about.